Hello students, welcome to my channel. Today we are just going to complete the measurement chapter, that is error analysis, significant figures. So if you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe my channel. This is very important. Please subscribe my channel. Okay. So today we are going to start error of measurement. Measured value of a physical quantity is never accurate due to the limits in the measuring instruments or due to the lack of taking readings in correct way. Lack of taking readings in correct way means error due to parallax error. That means the process by which you are taking the measurement, or better to say reading, is not correct. You have to keep your eye at the level of the reading, okay, level of the marking. Then you can take the correct reading, okay. So this is called parallax. And limits in the measuring instrument, that means suppose we are going to find out the length of a pencil by means of a simple scale, what we use in our school lives, or used in our school lives, or in our daily life. Then you would get a reading, suppose 5 point or 10.6 centimeter, but actually it may 10.68, but you cannot take the reading 0.68 due to the lack of the precision in the instrument. Okay. So your device cannot take a reading of 0.01 centimeter. It can take only a reading of 0.1 centimeter. Yes, this is called the limit in the measuring instrument. Okay. And this difference between the actual value of the physical quantity and the taking value of the reading, that is the measured value, is called the error in the measurement. The error in the measurement. Now we are going to study what is absolute error. Absolute error in the measurement of physical quantity is the magnitude of the difference between the true value and the measured value of the physical quantity. True value and measured value. This difference is called absolute error. Here is the example of absolute error. Let a physical quantity be measured n times. Obviously, we don't take any measurement for one time. We will normally take measurements at least 3 times. Okay. Suppose we are going to measure the length of a scale, length of a pencil, the diameter of a rod, anything. Then we take minimum 3 measurements. Here we have suppose taken n number of measurements. Okay. The measurements are A1, A2, A3, AN, etc. Now we take the average of this measurement, and it is called the arithmetic mean of the measured value. So AM equals to A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus AN plus dot 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 plus AN divided by N. This is the normal arithmetic mean. Generally, AN is taken as a true value of the measurement if the actual value is not known. Then we take the average of the measured value is the as the true value of the physical quantity. Okay? Then by definition we can find out the absolute errors in the measured values. For the first measurement, measured value, delta A1 is the absolute error in the first measurement. Delta A1 equals to AM minus A1. Delta A2 equals to AM minus A2. Delta A3 equals to AM minus A3. Dot dot dot. Delta AN equals to AM minus AN. Very simple. One thing you have to keep it in mind that absolute error may be positive or may be negative, because AM minus A1. If A1 is greater than AM, then it is negative. If AM is greater than A3, then delta A3 is positive. Very simple. Here we are going to study mean absolute error. This is another very important term. Mean absolute error. What is this? It is the average of all the absolute errors. But you have to keep it in mind that when you are just going to find out the average, you have to take the absolute value, that is the modulus value of absolute errors. Okay, so delta A bar, that is called the mean absolute error, is mod of del A1 plus mod of del A2 plus mod of del A3 plus dot 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 plus mod of del AN divided by K. Okay, very easy. Don't get confused. We have to find out when we are just going to find out the mean absolute error, we have to take the average of all the absolute errors. But we need to take the modulus value of the absolute errors, because absolute error may be positive or negative, as I written in earlier. Okay. So delta A bar equals to delta A1 plus delta A2 plus delta A3 plus dot 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 plus delta AN divided by N. So the final value, that is the actual value of the measurement, or the true value, may be written as A equals to AM plus minus delta A bar. Okay. AM is considered to be absolute value, but this is actually this is not the actual value of the actual value what we write. Suppose when we write the length of a pencil is L equals to 5 centimeter plus minus 0.2 centimeter. Okay, plus, or better to say 5 plus minus 0.2 centimeter. This means that the average of the readings is 5, and there is average of the absolute errors is 0.2 plus minus. Why plus minus? Because absolute error may be positive or negative. That is why we always take plus minus value. But in case of absolute error, to find the absolute error, we take the modulus value. When modulus sign disappears, we know that plus minus sign comes. Okay. So this is the length of a pencil or something. So 5 plus minus 0.2 centimeter. Okay. So A is the physical quantity. It is written as AM plus minus A, where AM is the average of the measured values. Delta A bar is the average of absolute errors. Okay. Now there are two other very important terms regarding errors of measurement. They are relative error or fractional error and percentage error. What is relative or fractional error? It is nothing but the ratio of delta A bar. What is delta A bar? Mean absolute error to the average value of the readings, that is AM. So delta A bar by AM is called relative error or fractional error, and when this value is expressed in percentage, we call it percentage error. Very easy. Here is another portion of error analysis we are entering in this. It is called propagation of errors. What is propagation of errors? Because error never ends, it always propagates through calculation. Suppose when you just measure something and at the end of the measurement the error ends, disappears, it never happens. It always propagates through your calculation. Suppose x equals to a plus b, that is x is a physical quantity which can be obtained by measuring, or better to say adding two measured values a and b. So when you find out the A by measuring something by with the help of some instrument, then you always bound to some errors. Okay, and this error suppose is delta A, and in the measurement of B the error is delta B. So the total error in X will be delta A plus delta B. Okay, so error in measurement X, percentage error in measurement X will be delta A plus delta B divided by A plus B into 100%. And when it is the case of subtraction, then suppose X equal to A minus B, then also delta X is delta A plus delta B. Be careful, not delta A minus delta B, because error never decreases, it always added up. Okay, it's always added up. That is why delta X equal to delta A plus delta B. So percentage error in X equals to delta A plus delta B by A minus B into 100%. Very easy. Now it comes multiplication and division. Here the process is a little bit different. Suppose X equal to A cross B, then delta X by X equals to delta A by A. So fractional error in X is always equal to the fractional error in A and fractional error in B. Okay, so here also the errors added up, never decreases, it is always added up. Okay, so percentage error in X will be delta A by A plus delta B by B 100%. Similarly, in case of division, the process is absolutely the same. A by B, so delta X by X equal to delta A by A plus delta B by B. So percentage error in X equals to delta A by A plus delta B by B into 100%. Very simple. Here is the last process, that is propagation of error. We have studied propagation of error in addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and here we are going to study the same thing but in different, just like something different. If there is some power on A and B, what will happen? If X equals to A to the power n, B to the power n, then delta X by X equals to n delta A by A. So power comes before delta A by A, and the same thing happens in case of B. The power m comes before delta B by B. So ultimately delta X by X equal to n delta A by A plus m delta B by B. So it is the fractional error in X. So percentage error in X will be n delta A by A plus m delta B by B in 100%. Very easy. So always remember these 5 rules when you are just calculating the propagation of error. Okay. In our next class, we will do some numericals. When we just do the numericals, then these all things will be very clear to you. So if you like this video, then please subscribe. This is very important. You will get the updates. This is very important. You must subscribe. Okay. Thank you very much.